Find out how stars like Anna Wintour, who was fired from her first job at Harper's Bazaar, and Walt Disney, who was fired from a newspaper job, bounced back to success. Anna Wintour was fired from her first job at Harper's Bazaar for being too creative. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job for lacking creativity, ironically. J.K. Rowling was fired from her job as a researcher and bilingual secretary for daydreaming too much. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job as an anchor for being too emotional on air. Madonna was fired from her job at Dunkin' Donuts for squirting jelly filling at a customer. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he co-founded, in 1985, but later returned. Learn about the Anglo-Zanzibar War, which lasted only 38 minutes. The Anglo-Zanzibar War was fought between the United Kingdom and Zanzibar on the 27th of August, 1896. The war lasted only 38 minutes, making it the shortest war in recorded history. The conflict began when Zanzibar's pro-British Sultan Hamad bin Thuwaini died suddenly. The opposing faction, led by Khalid bin Bargash, seized power and threatened British interests. The British responded with an ultimatum, which was ignored, and then launched a naval attack. The war ended with Zanzibar's surrender, and Khalid bin Bargash fled to the German consulate for asylum. Birds have complex social structures, but did you know they can recognize and respond to human social cues? Birds live in complex societies with hierarchies, friendships, and even gossip networks. Some bird species recognize individual humans and respond differently to each person. Birds use facial recognition to identify potential threats or friendly faces. They can mimic human emotions, such as comforting each other after a conflict. Birds have been observed engaging in playful activities, like sliding down snowy hills. In some species, older birds teach younger ones important survival skills and social norms. Discover how civilians are affected by cyber warfare, as seen in the 2017 NotPetya attack, which crippled Ukraine's infrastructure, and learn about the growing threat of cyber attacks on civilian life. In 2017, the NotPetya cyber attack caused $10 billion in damages, making it the costliest cyber attack in history. The attack crippled Ukraine's infrastructure, including hospitals, banks, and government agencies, affecting millions of civilians. Cyber warfare can disrupt critical infrastructure, such as power grids and water supply systems, putting civilian lives at risk. In 2020, 70% of cyber attacks targeted the private sector, including businesses and organizations that serve civilians. Cyber attacks can also have a significant impact on civilians' personal data, with 60% of attacks. Examine the impossible staircase concept, popularized by M.C. Escher's Ascending and Descending, 1960, popularized the impossible staircase concept in art. The impossible staircase is a two-dimensional representation of a three-dimensional paradox. The staircase appears to ascend infinitely due to a continuous loop of 90-degree turns. This paradox is possible because our brains struggle to process contradictory visual cues. The impossible staircase has inspired real-world architectural designs, like the Escher staircases in Rotterdam. Mathematicians have used the impossible staircase to illustrate the concept of a topological space. Take a virtual tour of the Earth's interior. With geologist Dr. The Earth's interior is divided into several distinct layers, each with unique characteristics. The crust, the outermost layer, varies in thickness from 5 to 70 kilometers under our feet. Beneath the crust lies the mantle, a 2,900-kilometer thick layer of hot, viscous rock. At the Earth's center lies the core, a scorching 6,371 kilometers from the surface. The core is split into a solid inner core and a liquid outer core, generating our magnetic field. Understanding the Earth's interior helps us better grasp geological events like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Meet Dr. Jonathan Letterman was a surgeon in the Union Army during the American Civil War. He developed the first systematic approach to triage, prioritizing wounded soldiers by severity. Letterman's system reduced mortality rates by 10% and became the standard for military medicine. He established mobile field hospitals, bringing medical care closer to the battlefield. Letterman's work laid the foundation for modern emergency medical services and trauma care. Today, Dr. Letterman is considered the father of modern battlefield medicine for his pioneering work. Discover how Napoleon Bonaparte's disastrous invasion of Russia in 1812 led to the downfall of his empire, with over 300,000 casualties and a retreat in the harsh Russian winter. Napoleon's invasion of Russia in 1812 was the largest military operation in history at the time. The French army, initially 680,000 strong, was vastly outnumbered by Russia's scorched earth tactics. The Russian winter, with temperatures as low as -30 degrees Celsius, decimated Napoleon's army, with over 300,000 casualties. The disastrous retreat from Moscow led to widespread desertion, with only 10,000 soldiers remaining loyal to Napoleon. The failure in Russia marked a turning point in Napoleon's fortunes, as European powers sensed his weakness and began to unite against him. Step into the Victorian era, where sugar became a status symbol and the wealthy indulged in extravagant sugar displays, fueling a cultural phenomenon that shaped British society and cuisine. During the Victorian era, sugar was a rare and expensive luxury only the wealthy could afford. The Industrial Revolution made mass-producing sugar possible, increasing availability and fueling British obsession. Sugar sculptures, called sugar plate, became a status symbol, showcasing hosts' wealth and hospitality. Afternoon tea, popularized by Queen Victoria, featured extravagant sugar displays and became a social phenomenon. The working class's newfound access to sugar led to a significant increase in sugar consumption and dental problems. Vitamin A can reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration by up to 25%. Vitamin A is a powerful antioxidant that protects the eyes from damage and disease. A diet rich in vitamin A can reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration by up to 25%. Sweet potatoes are one of the richest sources of vitamin A, with a single medium-sized potato providing over 200% of the daily recommended intake. Carrots, kale, and squash are also high in vitamin A, making them great additions to a vision-protecting diet. Vitamin A deficiency is a leading cause of preventable blindness in developing countries, affecting over 250 million people worldwide. Getting enough vitamin A can also improve night vision, reduce eye fatigue, and support overall eye health.